Hey guys, Harsh here, back in video. So another M series Hogan wings for you guys today, and this time I have the Boeing F18 in the 1 to 200 scale, and this is the navy version from Jolly Rogers. Right here it says, as you can see, it is the naval version of the F18. So this was, I think, quite popular in movies and stuff like that, and I mean it's an F18, so it is one of the most popular aircraft, I think, apart from the F16. So at the back you get some information about the aircraft itself and the missiles that it can carry, but for this particular model there are quite a bit less missiles than showed in at the back. So we'll just take a closer look at them in a second once I remove this packaging over here. It is quite nicely packed, as you can see. There is sort of no chance of like damaging the aircraft. So here it is, as you can see. Let me just take it out very gently over here, and here's the aircraft. Looks very nice, has a very nice matte finish paint on it apart from certain areas. So now let's take a closer look at it. So starting with the front, you can see it has this very nice pointy nose cone, and there is not much detail on it. It is just a simple gray nose cone. There is nothing like antennas painted on or stuff like that. One antenna is, however, at the bottom over here. If you take a closer look, you can see this one over here, and at the bottom you get some like black paints over here as well, which I am guessing like is where the camera of the F18 sits in. That is just a purely guess. I may be completely wrong. On the side there you can see we have the number of the aircraft, which is 103, and we get this like markings over it, which I'm guessing are the lights for the night landing and stuff like that to identify the aircraft. There are a number of lights, I think. One is the front and one at the back rudders. This yellowish line that you see over here, good for indication. Same on the other side, as you can see. It is just a copy paste, nothing too special. And if you move to the top, you can see we have another one of these things over here, which I'm not sure what these are. This is like a separate piece that has been bolted onto the plane, but still adds a very nice detail to the plane itself. Moving to the side again, you will see that we have this strip going around, which is like the color scheme for this particular squadron, I believe. Then we have the US Navy logo right beside it, and on top of the landing gear. If you look at the landing gear this time around, I think this is one of the best detailed landing gear I have seen on a 1 to 200 scale model. You can see like the tow hook at the front is also there, which drops down whenever the plane sort of needs to take off from a carrier, and you can see there is only one-sided flap, not the two-sided one. The wheels, I think, do not rotate in this particular version. Yeah, they don't, which is quite disappointing, but would have been nice to see like rotating wheels. And if you look at the back as well, the landing gear over here are also very nicely detailed with the flaps and the tire there. Same as the front one, the bay inside it is also painted white. It would have been nice to see like some drips of black paint to depict like different components inside the bay, but I think this one looks alright. Now if you move to the top again, we can see we have a 2 pilot seat, and we have the like 5 controls over there on the dash or whatever it is called. There is a missing joystick there as well, which is I guess the case for every other Hogan wings model. Moving to the engine intake, you can see they are quite nicely detailed. They have this very nice finish given to them, but sadly the inside there you can see it is also painted gray, and in my opinion if it was painted black it would have been a very nice detail to see on a Hogan wings model. However, I think I can just use a paintbrush, a very thin one, and paint the inside it black, so it will like add a bit more depth to the vehicle itself, because you can see it doesn't go really far away until it's completely blocked. It is not a solid pass through like the original one. On the side there you can see we have the danger sign for the engine air take, which is always nice to see. On both the ends you can see one over here and one over here. That is sort of hidden by these 2 massive drop tanks that you see on the side. They have no sort of detailing marking on them apart from the Jolly Rogers logo over here on both the sides, I believe. Yeah, one on each end. As you can see, the skull with the bones. And speaking about the ordnance, we have 2 air-to-air missile, I think. One over here and one right at the wingtip. Same on the other side, as you can see. Although it would have been nice if it had more missiles onto them. You can see how nicely the missiles are detailed with all the like stripes going into them, and the fins of them also. You can see that the fins over here are even silver painted, as you can see. Moving to the top again, you can see the top of the plane, whole plane is just a simple flat metal body with some grooves cut out, which are right over here, as you can see. Don't know what these are or what their purpose is, but I think these are like sort of air brakes. I may be completely wrong, so just correct me if I'm that. We have this very tiny antenna over here. It is same as the front one, just in like opposite direction. And then we have a very nice slit cut out for the ailerons and the flaps over here. The flaps flaps marking are also at the bottom. If you see, you can see like this whole section over here is the flap which they use for landings and takeoffs. Now only on the one side you will see this logo over here at the left end, not in the right end, and if you flip the plane around, then also you will see the logo on the left, not the right. This is, I guess, some sort of orientation that they had to follow, or maybe something like that, because identification on both the ends is like the go-to for any other military or the Air Force aircraft that I have seen so far. Also, if you look at the gluing that they have done over here, which is quite bad, you can see like how the glue they have pasted over here to paste this missile, but that had sort of dripped away and gone over here as well. You can see the whole area is dirty now. I may need to use like some sort of solvent to clean this up, but I don't think I will find that without damaging the paint, so I think I have to just leave it like this now. Moving to the rudder side, as you can see, the rudder is quite differently painted than the main body itself, and they also have a different finish to them. If you look closely, you can see that they have a metallic finish given to the rudders, and the rest of the plane has a very nice matte finish, so it does kind of add like a very nice color scheme to the plane itself. If we take a closer look at the rudder, again you can see we have the AA for some reason over here. I don't know what that means. The light that I talked about earlier, and the Jolly Roger's skull and bones. On the top there you can see we have a very nice yellow accent, kind of looks like a race car livery now, and the plate number is also mentioned over there, as you can see, which is 103. The slits for the rudder is cut out very nicely, but you have to like hit it at a certain angle to actually see it. As you can see, it is quite tough to see if light doesn't hit it properly, but that's quite okay. You know it's there, so you can just relieve yourself. At the bottom you can see we have the Navy logo again, and the actual registration of the aircraft, I believe, which is 16620, and from here the actual engine starts, like the turbofans and all that stuff. That's why you get these sort of grooves cut out over here to actually remove them and access the engine or take it apart completely. So these are like sort of access panel for the turbofans inside, and all the gears and stuff that goes in for the jet engines. Up here we have like some sort of marking, which is actually a writing in this case, but it is so small that you cannot actually read it, which is quite okay, because like I don't think anyone could print this amount of small text and still be able to read it without using some super expensive technology. Moving to the elevator side, you can see that on this elevator we have this cutout over here. This one also has some markings on them which are quite unreadable, understandably, and on the top of the engine you can see we have these sort of silver markings going on. These are the parts I think that get the most amount of heat, so that's why they are not painted like the rest of the plane. Also you get a warning sticker over here. I believe anything in triangle on a plane is like a warning sticker to me. The elevator doesn't have any slits cut out because the whole elevator moves up and down for the elevation of the aircraft. At the bottom you can see we have the tow hook or the grappling hook. I don't know the particular what the technical name for this one is, but whenever the aircraft is landing, it like pulls down and then grabs the cable on the deck. That's how the aircraft slows down in such a short distance. So this is a very nice detail to add as well. You can see how it is like added to this plain body over here with some super glue. In this particular case, I think they have used excessive amount of super glue because they are like dripping it everywhere. You can see it on the missiles as well, and on the sides of the missile bay over here you can see how much excess they have put in. This is quite an old model as well, so I think they have now improved their quality a bit more than this. Now moving to the final part, which is the engine exhaust, you can see this time around they have painted the whole engine itself in the plain color, which is gray. Normally what they do is just leave this whole area in silver finish, which is the actual bare metal surface of the engine that they put up, but this time around they have like painted it right up to the end. As you can see, the nozzles on this particular version are I think detailed quite nicely, but they are sort of misaligned. You can see the left one over here is going towards the right a bit, and they are like sort of in a weird angle as well. So it is like acceptable because this model is so small. You can see how it is small compared to my finger over here, but I think they still could have done a better job at it. The nozzles are quite nicely detailed with the silver finish, and if you try to actually take a look inside, which I can currently because of the camera angle and the lighting, but inside it has the turbofans, which is a very nice detail to see, although you won't be able to see any of it, but still they have gone to the lengths to actually get that detail, so it is quite nice to see that on a model plane. So that is guys the Boeing F18 in this very nice Jolly Roger's naval livery, or the color scheme, whatever you guys call it. And as you have seen, I have absolutely zero knowledge about aircraft and their squadron number. That is because I do absolutely zero research when I do the reviews of these models, and that helps me keep an open mind about the model itself and not just talk about the history or the squadron of this aircraft. That is because it is all available on the internet, and what's not available on the internet is the quality of this model, so I just try to focus on that one. So as always, thanks for watching this video guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and as always I will catch you all in the next one.